Hello everyone. Just wanted to give you a short video on how to get to the Computer Technology Lab shared drive within Google. So the purpose of sharing a folder or a drive with you all is to get you access to tools and other utilities that you might need throughout the course of your student experience, or even after you've left the program or the class. It's a way for you to be able to have access to some things that might be familiar to you. So what I've done is I've logged into my central, which is this page. And normally what I do is I'll show you the whole thing, but at this point I'm just going to go to Google Drive. So this is my CWC Google Drive. And once I go there, obviously mine's going to be somewhat different than yours, but what I have done or will attempt to do is to give you access to this thing called shared drives. And if you notice, I have quite a few shared drives here, and probably a lot more than any one of you. But the one that you should see, and if you do not, that means that I've not added you yet. It's called Computer Tech Lab. And so the way I add people to this list is I can manage members. And you can create your own shared drives as well, but I've already done this. So I'm going to add a person to this folder. And I'm going to make them a content manager. And just adding you to a shared folder so you can have access to resources that may prove useful, in your Linux class. And if I choose send, so Tom or Jazz is going to receive a message, and he's now going to have access to this content here. So within this shared file, you can see there's a bunch of folders. And for the class that Jazz is in, there's going to be a bunch of ISOs. And if we go to other ISOs, you can see that there's a pfSense that's listed there that might actually be interesting. There's a variety of other ISOs as well. So there's an Android, 32-bit Android, Keen OS, Arch Linux, Debian, Fedora. Some of these are outdated versions. That doesn't mean that they're not useful. I would consider these to be safe resources that you could use. And some of these won't make any sense to you whatsoever. And that's not necessarily the important part of this. It's resources that we've used over time that students have needed, and they're listed here. So Ubuntu 20.04.2. So this is a rather recent addition within the last year. Ultimate Boot CD is listed here. So if you don't know what these are, it doesn't mean that they're not important, although this one looks bad because it's an it's an incomplete download that wouldn't work very well. But some of these may be more familiar to you than others. There's a distribution of Red Hat. There's some Kali Linux versions here. And we'll do more, we'll add more ISOs here as we move forward. But I think the important thing to note is that there's folders with content that could be useful to you as you move forward. And let's see if there's one other useful tools. So this useful tools for a variety of classes could be somewhat important. So this EaseUs, I've used this for a variety of different demonstrations and classes. There's a copy of Rufus that's listed there. There's the Samsung Drive duplicator, and then Yummy, which is going to be useful in Linux classes. So Yummy and Rufus are the two USB flash drive um, creator tools, I guess is the best thing to describe them as. Rufus is used for a single boot OS on one flash drive, and Yummy is a tool that we use. Um, Basically, we call it a multi-boot pen drive, where you can put multiple OSs on there and choose when you first boot up the computer which one's going to be not installed but started up with. And we'll go over more of that in class. But I think just having some knowledge of what's available in here, if you do have other tools that could be useful or would like to take a crack at organizing this in a slightly better fashion, this is student managed, and I think that it's kind of important to keep it that way. Look, I just found another Linux OS. So here's a couple different versions of Kali, some Linux tools that are available here. Looks like very similar, almost duplicates of the other, and various different flavors of Ubuntu. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll go over more of these details as we move forward in various classes. All right, thanks.